Party people, well, welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I'm joined by Adam Macias for a game of Bar the Windows, Bolt the Doors. Adam is a comedian and host of That Was Wild, a genuinely really fun interview podcast where comedians and interesting people share outrageous stories about their lives and experiences. That Was Wild is celebrating its 1-year anniversary next week with a very special live show. You should go check that out if you're in the LA area. You can find more information about the show, the podcast, the live show, and all of that good stuff at thatwaswild.net. Bar the Windows, Bolt the Doors is a locked room, pick up and play horror game about people trapped in a room as horrifying monsters break their way inside and try to murder them. It's really wonderful and tactical and creepy and weird, and we had a lot of fun making it into like a campy horror comedy. I had a blast with this episode. I really loved it. I think you're going to enjoy listening to it. You can find Bar the Windows, Bolt the Doors at stoneshore.itch.io or check the show notes for more information. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. I am so freaking excited. I've been reading the game that we're about to play, and I've been absolutely giddy all day. I'm sitting down with Adam Macias. Adam, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me. I am so incredibly stoked for this. Very rarely do I get to show my nerdy side on stuff. And I won't even say this is nerdy because this is fucking cool. But I'm so excited to be on this show. Thanks for having me, man.
I'm so fucking stoked. I'm not gonna, I held myself back from swearing immediately, but fuck it. I'm fucking stoked for this game. Like, the vibe is so cool, and we'll get into the game in a moment, but before we do that, why don't you take a moment and let our lovely listeners at home know about anything that you want them to know about?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Adam Macias. I'm a comedian, and I do create some content online that you might have seen. But I also have this podcast called That Was Wild, where I talk to some of my wildly funny friends about the wild things happening in the world and some wild characters on the internet. Like, imagine it as like an RPG, but for Florida man people on chat roulette. That's what we do. We talk to crazy people and we try to like game out scenarios of how their wild scenarios in their lives have gone. No dice required though.
What a great pitch. What an immediately like, I mean, I'm such a fucking sucker for the Florida man pitch. Like it's really just an angle that will never run. Like it's a well that never runs dry, frankly, for me. Like,
Florida men are some of the best, the best people in the world in that they allow us to all to have a little bit of fun. You know, like
it's magic.
At least we're not a Florida man, you know. And if you're a Florida man, I want to say thank you. My hat's off to you. I salute you.
Yeah, we all thank you for everything that you've given to us. I'm really genuinely so excited. Today we are playing Bar the Windows, Bolt the Doors, which is a horror game about being trapped in a cabin as horrifying monsters break in and slowly kill us.
Yeah.
Which is a vibe that I'm thrilled about. I'm really stoked. So talk to me about like what's got you excited about the game, the pitch, what is it about like this kind of horror scenario that's really got your engine going? Like, what are we bringing to the table for the game today?
I mean, the first thing I thought of when I heard the kind of scenario that we're in, it reminds me of Evil Dead, like immediately, obviously, right? And then a little bit of Cabin in the Woods, which is like kind of the same thing, right? Two of my favorite movies of all time, really, just the storytelling aspect. I love a good bottle episode. I love when
I'm such a sucker for a bottle episode.
You know, and I really appreciate you saying that because I feel like a lot of people don't. Like, no, I like when people dig in and like it's a little bit of a mini play and you get to like see them operate in different rooms and how that changes things. And I really feel like this is going to be that. And it allows characters to shine and it makes it a lot of fun.
The pressure that it puts on characters and the way that it kind of like, even in very silly scenarios, like it's the application of that pressure feels so satisfying to watch, especially when it is like a group of characters that you know well and the performers know well. Like there's a real magic in watching them just dig in is exactly the right word for it, right? It's watching them slowly, like really kind of twist those screws and be like, okay, how is this character going to react at pressure level 1, at pressure level 10? Like what changes about them is so satisfying to watch.
Yeah. And another kind of great part of this is that there's the horror aspect, which I feel like is such a good thing for role play because you could pretend you're a fighter, you could pretend
Yeah.
you're a detective, you could pretend like you're an elf or whatever. That doesn't necessarily equal high stakes, But if it's horror, the stakes are high. You're immediately going to lock in because you're going to put yourself in that scenario, and it's just going to be fun as a player and hopefully as a listener and an observer, because you get to, like any hypothetical dangerous situation is, for lack of a better term, people can't take their eyes away or take their ears away in this scenario.
It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
And I think that like what I really like about this scenario and what I'm really leaning into as we start to talk about like character and setting a little bit, I love there's like the horror thing that I really love is like there's a magic in watching very ordinary people in like a very dangerous situation, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's something great about watching a story about like a hyper competent hero or like a magic warrior or whatever, but like when it's just a guy, like it's you mentioned Evil Dead, and the Evil Dead movies are so great because Ash is just the epitome of like
a guy,
just kind of a guy, and you're just watching him just repeatedly be like, I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah. And then Cabin in the Woods does the great thing of like flipping horror tropes.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you get to see that trope, but then it's not exactly what you expect, and that's the beauty of that, because it's like that's why I love horror films, because it's so easy to break the expectation of something, because we're so used to something, and it's easy to kind of throw it into multiple paths, and just surviving stuff is fun, like, we get to survive stuff,
or not,
or not.
It's gonna be great either way.
Well, make it fun regardless.
So we are going to start by creating our outsiders. So the scenario is this. We have found ourselves in a cabin. We should not have come here. Ominous howls echo in the tangled woods beyond these walls. Lamplight gutters as cold wind steals through shuttered windows. You know you are being stalked. It is only a matter of time before they come for you. Dawn has still not come, and this lonely, rickety cabin is but a feeble defense against the horrors of the night. We are trapped in this cabin for some reason. We'll flesh out a little bit of like who we are and why we've come here, but that is the basic pitch. And now we are going to like take that pitch and really decide who are we and why are we in the haunted town of Inchwick.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
What's the character vibe that comes to mind?
Okay, so because we mentioned Florida Man, I want to be a Florida man. I'm gonna be Billy Bob.
Billy Bob's great.
Billy Bob, and he's here because his wife has gone missing, and his Florida woman has gone missing, and he's here to find her.
I like that. I really enjoy that. That's fantastic. I went into this saying that like whatever direction you went in, I was just going to make a character that was the furthest from that. So I think that so obviously the vibe is like very, very like buttoned up city, like very buttoned up, prim and proper. And I am going to pull on that I am here as a private detective that you have hired.
Ooh.
And that like we have, in the course of this investigation, it has brought us to the small town of Inchwick. We have started to be chased by something. We don't exactly know what it is, and we have found ourselves in this small cabin. I am taking a note. I'm taking a horror note from one of the greatest horror decisions any movie has made in the last few years, and stealing from Barbarian and saying that this is a shitty Airbnb. Like we have found ourselves in this tiny little cramped Airbnb cabin.
Yeah.
As something descends upon us in the night.
Yeah.
So now that we've got like an initial pitch for our character, we're gonna make 2 adjectives for our personality, 1 description of a strength that our character possesses, and then there's a list of strengths that we'll choose from of like what makes our character spectacular. These are a little bit of rules abilities, and then that's pretty much it. We'll just kind of decide on what our personality is and which of our mechanical strengths we want to lean on.
Yeah. I love this because I saw the tutorial or the game stuff on online, and so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I think a Florida man would be perfect because he's definitely hard to kill. I think that's like
That feels good. That feels great.
Yeah, he's like a hard to kill. No, hold my beer is like his motto. Billy Bob is hard to kill. He's also he's definitely did not come prepared, but I do feel like he's wily and agile. He's like hard to kill and agile. You know, like you can't pin him down. He's not a born fighter or anything, but he could get out of a scrap because he's a little wily.
So of those two, agile and hard to kill, which of those do you mechanically want to impact on your character?
It is just one, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you get one strength and two
one.
personality adjectives.
Yes, let's do hard to kill. Hard to kill.
All right, that means you're going to take 3 wounds instead of 2 to kill you. I'm going to take shrewd. If I am a private investigator, I'm taking shrewd scavenger. I think like the ability to spot things is what my character has made his career off of. I am saying personality traits. What do I want this character's personality to be like?
Yeah.
I'm going to write down professional to a fault.
Oh, nice.
I specifically, I'm thinking of the thing that popped immediately into my head was the John Michael Higgins from Arrested Development, where he's like, "There's one word to describe me. What would that word be? It's professional." And he just the guy who just adamantly refuses to get wrapped into like any of the sitcom. Not like that. I think is the energy that I want to bring to the character.
I love that. Yeah. I think okay, cool. That makes me. I want to play off of that a little bit. I want to be courageous, right? Like he's just like courageously like stupidly courageous, like
sure.
Too courageous, I guess you could say. Too confidently courageous. And then did you just do one adjective?
That was the first one. Do you have a second adjective in mind? Because I've got one that I'm toying with, but I kind of want to bounce off of yours if you've got a second one in mind.
Yeah, like so you said like professional. I also want to be emotional then. I want to be like he's just in love. He just thinks with his heart, you know? So I would say courageous and emotional.
And I'm going to write down professional, and I think the other one that I want to lean on, I wrote down original. So I wrote down one that I think is very silly, but I'm going to like try and pull it back a little bit. But I think it's the same kind of vibe, which is I wrote down well reviewed on Yelp, and I think that's very funny. And
professional. It would be professional and professional. Those are his two.
I'm gonna write down.
Traits.
I don't know how it this one pulling it back a little bit. Like I think this is a very interesting one to put into this exact scenario where we are alone in a hell cabin.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write down likable. The energy of something like that's something that I think is really interesting to put in this scenario where there's like. There's not a lot of obvious use for someone being likable in a scenario where the only other people here are here to kill us.
Yeah.
But like finding an opportunity for that will be satisfying.
Yeah. So you're
professional and likable.
Like a maitre d', I guess.
Yeah. There's an energy there of like you hired me.
Yeah.
And like you hired me to investigate this case. And I have spent as much time like pointing you in the direction of local restaurants as I have like helping you like in the actual investigation, because it's my personality. I like being helpful in that way.
No, yeah.
Now this character is taking shape in my brain.
Yeah. I'm just like grief stricken, just wanting to find my wife because I miss her so much. She's so damn hot. Ever since we were 14, I've had a big old crush on her. And then, you just keep telling me about how there's a local pie shop. That's nice.
Yeah, that's great. My character's name is Carl Crawl Space Bivens. There's not a crawl space I can't find. You can't hide from me.
I love that. I would say, so my name is Billy Bob, full stop. No,
love it.
Like a Madonna.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes you only need one name.
Yeah. Sometimes you only need one name that's two names, you know?
Exactly. Okay, so we've got our characters. We've got our cabin. The game comes with a map of the cabin that we both have in front of us. There are 12 entry points in the cabin. There are also a handful of rooms for us to explore. We both begin in this large open room. And the thing that is outside can get in from any of these 12 entry points.
Okay. I'm looking at it.
And
it's too many entry points. It's too many.
There's too many entry points, and I'm not happy about that.
Who has this many entry points into their house? This is crazy.
There's too many windows, too many doors. This doesn't feel great.
This is an Airbnb that's advertised for lots of windows. Plenty of natural
tons of
daylight.
I'm so glad we went to the exact same place.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our cabin in front of us.
Yeah.
We have been locked. How long do you think we've been in the town of Inchwick? Like, what has our stay in Inchwick been like? Like, let's set the scene as the night falls in front of us.
So you came to meet me in Florida, and we decided to hitchhike. We decided to hitchhike just to get the experience, because we're trying to. You advised me that maybe she hitchhiked to this town of Inchwick, and we've been following her trail.
That's great.
We've been following her trail, and I've just been distraught. And it's been one heck of a time going from one underpass to another. And we've been in town for maybe about 2 hours. We decided to treat ourselves, considering how bad we've been sleeping, next to little creeks and little tiny parts of the forest for the last week or so, trying to hitchhike. And so we decided to treat ourselves to one of the best Airbnbs in town.
Inchwick, lovely little town, lovely little community. The amount of spaces I could recommend, innumerous. We settled into our Airbnb. We went out for dinner. Wonderful crab boil place. Man, truly, like, you get a good boil going. The spices and the sausage, it just immaculate.
Reminds me of home, and that's
exactly what you want.
Yeah.
From a crab boil, you want something that makes you feel like you are at home regardless of where you are. Magnificent.
My wife,
unfortunately,
my wife Mary Beth Denberg, she definitely makes a good crab boil. One of the best crab boils in all the county, really. She's won it multiple times, and we were hoping maybe she stopped by. You told me that you were doing some reconnaissance.
Yeah. We made the mistake of mentioning that we were in town for that. Both of us tend to have a mouth on us is the thing that I'm noticing about our two characters.
So I just, immediately the second we came into town, I started running around being like, have you seen Mary Beth? Does anybody know Mary Beth? Does anybody know Mary Beth? And we decided to go into the crab place because she loves some crab. She loves some crab. So we decided to go there. Yeah.
And naturally, we're there. We get food. We're there for, I don't know, an hour before I start to notice that a few too many people are staring at us for a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And so we settled into this cabin, and
it doesn't help that I decided to start dancing on the tables. I said, hold my beer, and I started dancing on the tables, and I was like, everybody, I need your attention. And I started putting on a little show. I had a few too many beers, and they kicked us out, unfortunately, of the crab shop. And that's why we're in this Airbnb right now. I'm distraught and crying.
And night has fallen, and sure enough, I think you and I probably both at points noticed something staring at us outside the windows. There's movement outside. Things are danger. Like there, it is the obvious signs that something is approaching. I think the second we leave the crab boil place, it's the scene. It's the ending from The Birds, right? Like, it's that sense of we are hitching the ride to our Airbnb.
Yeah.
And it just feels like every living thing in town is just dead-eyed staring at us, to the point where now we are hearing something move towards the cabin. It is the unmistakable sense that something knows that we are here and does not want us to be here.
What was your character's name again?
Carl. Carl Crawl Space Bivens is the full name, but Carl.
Carl, you hear that? Carl, you feel that? It feeling like I'm stuck under a blanket on a wet day or something. Carl, you feeling that? You feel that pressure there, Carl? Something ain't right. Something ain't right here, Carl.
Carl is pulling down blinds and staring out, and Carl has gone from TripAdvisor, pulls down one blind, stands up dead straight. Billy Bob, you ever killed anyone before?
I mean,
detective hiree confidentiality, I assume, is a thing. To be clear.
Yeah, as long as there's a you got no campus.
I'm
I'm
a
never.
dick, not a cop.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I fuck the police. I'm also a cab. Anyways, but I back the blue as well. So anyways, yeah. So I've never killed nobody, but I've definitely had people try to kill me for sure.
You get into a scrap before?
I've been into a few scraps. Yeah. I was in prison. I stepped in prison for a little bit, about 6 or 7 times, mostly drunk driving. And I never wanted to pay the fine, so I stayed in prison for a bit. It was a harrowing experience, truly.
Good.
Good. Yeah. No. So you ever kill nobody? Ever kill somebody, Carl? Carl, you ever shoot anybody with that hammer you got on the side of your hip there?
Kill no, shoot yes. We'll see if that answer changes by the end of the night. Carl, we might want to start boarding up some windows. I'm starting to think that maybe we're not getting their deposit back on this Airbnb, if you catch my drift.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely wasn't planning on getting the deposit back, considering all the shit I was gonna be doing to this hotel room. Yeah, for sure. I've already smashed like all of the TVs just because that's what I like to do. I like to do it. It's fun.
Carl just goes quiet. Where it's like, I knew I liked you for a reason. I got a good vibe, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation.
You're so accommodating, Carl. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for the, maybe if we get out of this, we'll go to that soft serve place that you told me that had that was an artisan soft serve served with mochi. We'll check that out for sure. If we ever get out of this, Carl.
If we get out of this, we're getting mochi. We're getting mochi soft serve. Mark my goddamn words. And I think with that, starts to shift around, and with that we are going to kick into active gameplay. Here's how play works in bar the windows, board the doors. If I'm going to get that name wrong several times, and I'm just going to leave it, you could check the episode title for the actual name, and I apologize for butchering it, but yeah. It is what it is.
It's Lock the Windows, WTF with Mark Maron. That's the
there you got it. That's what it is. Yeah. So each basically play occurs in rounds. Each of us has a turn in that round. In that turn, we can take 1 or 2 acts. Acts are things that we do to survive. There is a list of acts that we can do for free, and then there's acts that we can do and spend desperation to do so. Desperation is our adrenaline. It is our will to keep fighting. When we run out of desperation, we become exhausted, and that makes us easy to kill. Also, we'll talk to them about this at the end of the round, but because there's just the 2 of us, we get an extra action that we can take between us that either of us can take to shore up our chances of surviving.
All right.
So, would you like to go first, or should I?
You please go first.
All right, I'm going to go first, and I think in this turn, I am going to... I already kind of gestured towards it. I think that Carl is going to survey the room that we're in, which is this large kind of living room area. I am looking for anything that is useful. I think Billy Bob gestured towards the gun on my hip, and I realized that I stashed that gun somewhere in the Airbnb. So Carl, in this moment of, oh god, I don't actually have my gun on. Okay, shit. And I'm gonna start pulling apart this room. When I survey the room, I can roll once on an apparent item table, which is a table here in front of me. It is a D12 I'm going to roll a 1d12. On a 1 to 5, I find nothing. On a 6 to 12, I consult the entries below. That is a 2, but because I am a Scrooge scavenger, I get to re-roll and take the better result. So here we go. Oh, that's a 9. That is an improvised weapon. I think what Carl is grabbing in this room is... This room has an electric fireplace. I'm grabbing a fire poker. That feels very satisfying.
Nice.
It is one of those awful simulated fireplaces, but it still has the poker just kind of for aesthetics. So I am grabbing the fire poker, and just kind of holding onto it, twirling it in my hand. And I'm going to take a second action. I need to try and find, we need something. I think Carl is saying to Billy Bob, we need to find something to barricade these doors. I don't like how open we are. I don't like that there are things moving outside.
Yeah, I don't like it either. You know what though? I could use a beer. You could use a beer. I'm gonna go check the fridge.
Go check the fridge.
Let me scavenge the fridge. Is that I wanna see what's inside the fridge.
See what you do. You wanna find is it easy to find apparent items, or look for something that is tougher to find and hidden but more valuable?
I wanna find apparent values, but yeah, I wanna find apparent items. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so give me a D. Roll me a D12.
All right. Oh.
If you don't got one, I got one in front of me.
Please do it. Please do.
You got it. That is a 2, which means that you can find nothing, and there's nothing else in the room.
That makes sense. Yeah,
they have done such a shitty job stocking this fridge. Like it is.
It makes sense. It's not that type of Airbnb. You know, it's not like it's not like a hotel. You know,
no.
Yeah, Airbnbs don't usually stock the fridge for you. That makes sense.
Inside there is a small type note that says, "If you place food in the fridge, please dispose of it before checkout. You will be charged a fee if there's food left in."
Oh shit! Well. Actually, now I look at this refrigerator looks like it could cover that door. You want to help me move this refrigerator in front of that door, this here front door?
Let's do it. So you're gonna spend a desperation, which brings you down from 6 to 5, and we are going to barricade one of these doors. So we both mutually grab this fridge, and shove it. Are we blocking door number 1?
Let's see which one. Yeah, number 1 for sure.
All right, we're just gonna put a big X here on door number 1. We have barricaded door number 1, which means that anything that tries to get in will have to first break down the barricade and then make its way inside. So at least we are starting to make progress. And I think Carl, with a second action, is going to with that, I think Carl is going to move into our neck. Like Carl like steps through a doorway, noticing that the room next to our living room is one of the windows. There is.
Yeah.
I guess in this scenario, I'm trying to decide what broken boards would represent in this space. Is it partially finished construction?
Hey, did you see that did they mention this in the Airbnb? There's broken boards on this. There's open construction on the side of this here site in here. This is bad shoddy work, man. As a construction worker myself, I could already tell that they just stopped mid spackle. This is bad shit.
And I think Carl, head in hands, they had a 4.8 review score. That should have been enough to at least give us a full fucking building. And I think is going to start grabbing boards and furiously patching up door number 3 so that we've at least got some coverage.
Yeah.
And then we have one more action. You have one more action, and then we collective. So we have 2 more things that we can do. Is there anything else that you want to do in the room you're in or an adjacent room?
All right. So we both walked into that space number 3, right?
Yep.
All right. So I want to I want to find an improvised weapon. I want to scavenge to see if there's maybe an improvised weapon around. Maybe
All right, do you want to search for an apparent item or a hidden item?
Hidden item.
All right, spend 1 more desperation, bringing you down to 4, and I'm going to roll a D12. On a 1 to 3, you find nothing. On a 4 to 12, I'll tell you what you find. You find there is, along the work tools in this area, right? There's the construction equipment that has been left behind. There is a first aid kit. You've got a bundle of medicine that you can use to tend wounds and heal a wound once without having to spend any desperation.
Yeah, is this one of them? This is one of them big metal little tiny ones.
Definitely one of those lunch pail sized first aid kits.
I've beaten off a gator with one of these before. Actually, it's pretty useful. It's got a little handle.
One big swing on the nose, they'll back off.
Yeah. I mean, it did it. It took out my right pinky, but I tried to at least.
That's what matters. I think that's what counts. And I think I'm also gonna try and scavenge specifically.
Also, why is there medicine next to an open construction site? That seems weird. Why would they do it? Do you think maybe somebody accidentally chopped off their arm while trying to board up this wall here? What the hell happened here?
construction is like that sometimes,
I mean,
especially with these fly-by-night operations. It didn't seem like they were doing an especially good job to begin with.
I mean, this is not OSHA approved.
This does not look OSHA approved. Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh. Billy Bob, this may raise a lot more questions.
Oh, don't tell me. What did you find? Hey, what'd you find, Carl? Carl, what'd you find?
Well, you remember how you were just asking if somebody chopped an arm off or something?
Yeah, I just said that like 2 seconds ago. I remember that.
Well, you reckon that somebody might, maybe chop an arm off and perhaps use it in some kind of ritual if they had, say, a book of forbidden lore? If they had some sort of evil book, you think that might serve in that?
What? Are you kidding me? Some evil devil book?
I asked that for a specific reason because maybe next to that medicine there maybe is, if you look over there, that looks like a book of forbidden lore to me.
Oh my god.
Just off of the cover, like that book definitely looks like it was rendered from skin and that looks evil.
Yeah, there's like an eyeball on it. It's like a bird eyeball on this thing. What? And it's you know what? And it smells. It smells like,
it does not smell good.
It smells like crow. It smells like crow on a Saturday. You know what I'm
holding
saying?
it. I've picked it up and I'm holding it and I'm definitely hearing crows where I wasn't hearing crows before, and that's not a great feeling.
Yeah, it's not good. Speaking of birds though, right? Like that's crazy. I just want to find my wife. I don't want no forbidden Lord.
All right.
I just miss my wife. I don't
as we are having this conversation. Oh no. as we are having this conversation. A window breaks in the next room over, and window number 4 is broken open.
Oh, Jesus.
Billy Bob, remember how I said you might have to fight soon?
I chuck my medicine at the window, at whatever's coming through the window.
It crashes against the wall and lands on the floor. Like it's I think Carl is swinging the fire poker. We should make some distance. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Let's skit.
All right, let's find out what happens when a foe breaks into the room. A foe breaks into a room. It is not in the same door as us, so for now it is obscured. We don't know what it is. It has 2 actions, which means at this moment, it's going to stalk into the room if we're one room over, it's going to walk in and are you prepared to find out what this thing is that's about to try and kill us?
Do I have any actions left or
this is its turn. We have used all of our actions before we go on the offensive or defensive depending on what's about to walk through that doorway.
All right, let's check it out.
I have drawn
Carl, it can't be that bad. I mean, it's just a window. Like maybe some kids were playing baseball next door at night. You know,
I've drawn the Ace of Clubs, and that is the cult. Hoods and knives, more of them than you can count. The people of Inchwick have come for your blood. Somebody walks through this doorway with a big fucking knife.
That's a weird way to play baseball.
Billy Bob, that doesn't look like baseball. I'm going to be honest. I appreciate your optimism. I don't think they're here to play baseball.
Hey, you guys here to play baseball? Like, I didn't see no ball come through.
And it's going to take each cultist takes 1 act per turn. They can take up to 2 acts as a group. Okay, great, good. So this cultist, this hooded figure bursts into the room and rushes at one of us. I've drawn a card. Do you want I'm just gonna roll a dice. It's gonna be easier. Do you want high or low on this D6?
Oof. Let's go high, baby.
Unfortunately, you're getting what you want, which means that you have been stabbed by some kind of Florida murder cultist.
Ow, no, Carl, get that medicine. I'm totally regret this now. Carl, get that medicine.
Carl, which brings us back to our turn. We hear Hold on. Actually, they're going to take one. Nope, that was one action to move, one action to stab. That's their turn, which brings us to our second turn. And I think Carl, without missing a beat, I am swinging this. I've got this fucking fire poker. Great. I am smashing the fire poker in half. And I'm going to roll a d6. God, I want this to be a high roll so badly. Thank God it's a 5. I smash this fire poker over the cultist's head, and they drop like a ton of bricks.
Nice. Yeah, get him, Carl. Fuck him up.
Carl rushes over, grabs the medicine, and is gonna also tend wounds, which is gonna heal that wound that you've got. We don't have to roll for it; it happens immediately. But we do use use up the medicine that we've got.
Thanks so much, Carl. You know, in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have used the medicine as a weapon. Just in hindsight.
Live and learn. This is not a situation that either of us expected to be in.
Yeah. Sorry.
Play it by ear.
I was scared. I thought I thought a bunch of kids were coming in trying to look for a baseball. I was scared.
I mean, I'm not exactly fucking stoked to be here either. So you've got 2 actions. What is Billy Bob doing in this moment? We've got one broken window. We've got a handful of we've got barricaded doors and broken boards, but no weapons, no defenses. What is Carl doing at this moment?
Are they currently in the room with us still? Or
no. We have killed the
off?
one cultist that broke its way in, but several more are going to start pouring in.
All right.
In rapid succession.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and let's bar the door that's in between 3 and 4, or let's try to find something to. We gotta close up that door, Carl. Carl, we gotta close up that door.
All right. That means you're gonna spend 1 desperation. Since we don't have barricading materials, that's gonna be 1 desperation, which I think puts you down to 3.
Yeah.
So what that means is that at any moment you can now take a moment as an act, like one of your actions in a turn. It might not be worth it yet, but it might be worth it as you start to run lower, to call on one of your personality traits to give yourself some courage and take back that desperation. This is our way of like refilling this meter and making sure that we're not eminently killable. Yeah. Because if you get to 0 desperation, you stop taking 3 wounds to die and start taking 1 wound to die.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So right now we are barricading. We are both gonna move into, we are barricading this door between rooms 1 and 3, between 1, 2, and 3. We're in this room. Is there anything else you want to do on your second action this turn?
All right, I wanna look for I guess I'm trying to think, what would it be better to find like an apparent weapon or a hidden weapon? Probably apparent, right?
For you at this moment, rather than spending desperation, I think an apparent weapon might be better.
Yeah, let's find an apparent weapon. Any weapon? We gotta grab a weapon.
That is 9 on this item list. That is an improvised weapon. What's in this room for you?
Oh, okay. So, so I grab one of them spackly, like I just rip off a piece of the broken board, and
sure.
it's got a nail,
big old nail
in it. Yeah.
And I think we've got 1 action left between us because you scavenged, we treated wounds, we barricaded, we killed the guy. We've got 1 action left. I think I want to barricade 12. Do you want to barricade 2 or 12? Which one feels better? That'll give us all of one side, or that'll protect us from them coming from the back a little bit.
I feel like strategy is important for 2, right? Because then we can knock it out.
It means they're a little bit further, and that buys us a little more time if we want to go like in their direction. I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got rooms 1 and 2 barricaded. We've got the doorway to 4 barricaded, so we're fairly safe off.
Strategy.
Let's see where we're going. They are going to send in 2 reinforcements because there's nobody in the room right now. We hear number 7. Okay, that's not too bad. 7's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I almost didn't hear. It's so far away. You hear
all
that?
The way on the farthest side of the house in a hallway, we hear a window break. There is somebody, and 6. Okay, so uh they are approaching on the they are coming in from the west side or from the east side of the house. They have dug their way in. They have cracked a doorway to get in. And it is now once again our turn.
All right. Um, so what are some so aside from barring and scavenging,
We
what are some
can
other
on our turn. You can barring. You can survey or scavenge. Surveying lets you find an apparent item. Scavenge lets you find a hidden item at the cost of a desperation. You can take a moment because you're under 3 desperation. You can also try to at this moment remove a barricade, or if you're wounded, tending a wound. So right now we are really scavenging, and we are just scavenging and barricading to try and shore up as many defenses as possible.
All right.
While also recognizing that our desperation is fairly limited. It might be better strategically. And also I should note the game encourages us to game this as much as possible, to metagame this as much as possible, and really hash out the strategy. Is it better for me to bar a couple things on my turn since I've got more desperation?
Yeah, well, I think that makes the most sense. I was gonna say, as far as maze here, if they're, I mean, we could choke them off right in between that that hallway.
That's a good idea.
It's pretty much just.
So I could take one action to move through the living room into this main hallway.
Yeah.
Take my second action to barricade this doorway off from room 4.
Yeah.
And then
that's
got us, at least for now, fairly protected.
Yeah.
From that brings me down to
brings
me down to desperation 3, but where they are as protected as we are as protected as can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. And my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to survey the chimney. Yeah.
Okay. So that we'll move you here. Roll that. There is nothing in this room, and because we rolled poorly, there can be nothing in this room.
Oh, shit.
I love the detail. I love the mechanical detail here that, as we continue to find rooms in which there are nothing, the narrative thing that we have added that this is a shitty Airbnb feels so perfect, of just, running into a room being surely there's got to be something of value in here. Shit.
There's just a bunch of stuffed animals. Why did... This is the weirdest themed room I've ever seen.
Why are there so many stuffed animals in this room?
A bunch of creepy stuffed animals just staring at us in the corner. Who would want this? There's not even a chair.
They've all got the fucking porcelain doll eyes that are a little too realistic.
Yeah, this is creepy as hell. There's a bunch of little angel cherubs just hanging out. That's not good for nobody.
I'm gonna see if we can find something in this hallway with our final action. That's a 12. What do we got on a 12? What's on a 12? An apparent item. More medicine. Great.
Nice.
How is there what is in this hallway that we can spin as medicine?
I'm gonna be. You know what? I know you're very good at Yelp and reviews and stuff, Carl. I think this Airbnb is kind of shitty, Carl. I think we might have found a stinker.
The further we get into this Airbnb, I'm realizing that the only thing in any of these cabinets is just box after box of painkillers, and half of it is unconstructed. Even putting aside the actions of the murder cult, Billy Bob, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm coming to the same conclusion. This does not seem like a reputable house for us to be staying in.
Murder cult aside, let's just take the murder cult and put that aside.
Again, let's just acknowledge that the murder cult is happening as our assessment of the hotel, of the Airbnb.
Let's all
separate from the cult.
Yeah, let's acknowledge the murder cult. Let's just take that for what it is, and that's bad, and put that on the side. Objectively, this is a bad Airbnb.
This is not a good space.
This is not. One of these rooms is just a chimney and a bunch of dolls. That is what use is this for?
Let's see.
Shit. We got some people move. I hear some movement.
some movement occurs that puts us they are going to operate on a set number of monstrous actions. So every time they move, I'm going to tick them down on a clock, which means we kind of have to outlast them and any reinforcements they send in. They are moving closer to us. We are hearing things as they move through the hallways in the other rooms. We are fairly locked in this section of the house. And let me see if there's anything else that they do. One of the really great things that I like about this game is that, like, they have a very set rhythm to the way that the monsters act that, like, allows us to exploit it a little bit, which I think we've exactly done by, like, barricading them in that half of the house.
Yeah.
It opens up a real gameable element that I'm really enjoying. So they're each cultist is going to take one act a turn, which means they're going to move through some rooms, getting closer to us. Oh, nope, never mind. Stalking is a free act, which means that they can do that once anyway. So they have already moved, which means that there are fewer cultists than the number of players there are not. So there are 2 cultists in the room, and we are going to. They are each going to take a second action. Let me see if one of them can take an action to get inside. They cannot. I think that's what they're going to do this turn, which means that we still got some time to, like, search rooms and see if we can find anything else to prepare us, but they are going to start knocking down barricades next turn, and possibly also a reinforcement is going to show up.
Oh, shit. All right. Okay. I'm a little... Carl, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little scared.
I'm a little bit...
I'm a little scared. I don't get scared very easily. I'm a little scared.
Billy Bob, I'm going to be honest with you. I appreciate that. Not feeling a lot better on my side. But we've got some time.
You know what? I'm going to leave you one of the best reviews on your Yelp page if we ever get out of this.
If we survive this and you give me a 5-star on Yelp, soft serve mochi is on me. I am barricading as my action. I am down to 2 desperation, but I'm barricading 10. Because that means that, like, we have almost this entire half of the house blocked off. Yeah. Which means that they have to punch through that, which gives us some time to, like, fight them off at those 2 doorways. Tactically, yeah. I think we're in a really good position.
Yeah. And I'm at 2 desperation.
Yep.
Right? So let's see what would be good. I think you got medicine.
I've got medicine. I've got an evil book.
Yeah, can we do anything with that book?
What can we do with the book? The book allows us, at any one time, I can spend a desperation to if you die, I can bring you back to life with this book. Awesome. If one of us dies, we can bring the other back to life.
That's
great.
Okay,
fuck
cool.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Rad. That's so cool.
I don't love the idea of coming back to life from an evil book. That feels like it's got bad implications, but yeah, you might, we've at least got it.
Come back with, like, some extra horns or, like, a bird eye or something like that. All right, so I'm at 2 desperation. Is anything happen if I drop down below 2?
If you drop to 0, you become exhausted and you can only take 1 action per turn. And if somebody wounds you once, even though you are hard to kill, you are dead.
All right, cool. So then I'm gonna milk it a little bit more. And let's bar the number 12.
Bar number 12.
Yeah. Let's get this weird hallway window barred up. So weird. Why is there a window in this tiny ass hallway?
They did advertise a lot of natural light. Admittedly, I recognize that that's adding to the value of the space. There's a lot of things in this Airbnb I've got problems with, Billy Bob.
Honestly, I could feel like if there's light coming through here with all these medicine cabinets in this hallway and all the mirrors, it's gonna be hotter than August on the back of a raccoon's back, man. It's gonna be hot back here.
Look, I can't explain. The window itself in a vacuum feels like a good decision.
I'm just saying a few ants would get killed in this hallway.
I'm saying
with all
you're
these
not
mirrors.
wrong. I'm saying you're not wrong.
This is like, for my you ever see that movie The Mummy, where they like they use mirrors to like get daylight into the tomb? That's like what happens in this hallway for some reason.
It does feel a little bit like that is what is occurring here. Oh, okay. Oh, fucking fast. This is a good fucking item draw. I'm searching for apparent items in this room, and I have found Something that reminds me of home.
Oh.
What do I think that is? What is Carl Bivens think about home? Like what reminds Carl of home?
It's your first Yelp review. You printed it out in a
See, here's the thing.
Hallway.
You threw that out as a joke. But in fact, it's so fucking creepy if there is a binder in this Airbnb of every Yelp review that Crawlspace Bivens has ever had. That is like, that's both so funny and also so immediately viscerally horrifying.
What the
that,
hell?
like, the Airbnb you happen to be staying in has every fucking review you've ever gotten.
Carl,
that's a good horror beat.
Carl, what is this? These are all your cases.
This is
5 star, 5 star, 1
star. We don't worry about that one. Don't worry about that one.
Oh no, but it looks like they changed it back to 5 stars.
We had a great conversation. It was wonderful. The trick is to acknowledge that they got done dirty. The trick is to say you did a bad job, because 9 times out of 10, if somebody's leaving a bad review, what they want is just to feel like they were right.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's what it was like when I went into that the tattoo parlor. I left a bad review on a tattoo parlor, and they actually worked with me on it.
I'm noticing that they didn't remove the tattoo.
No, they did not. It's
still very visible.
They did not. I wanted this. I wanted like a cool Snoopy, and it just ended up looking like a penis.
It's very. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah.
It's very phallic.
I love Snoopy. Yeah, and I just thought maybe it would be really cool to have like Snoopy on my forehead, but it's a penis. Everybody knows it's a penis.
I wasn't gonna say it. As a service to you, admittedly, this is partially me trying to get a good review, but like as a service to you, I wasn't gonna say anything about it. But like,
and I'll tell you what, I left one of the worst scathing 1-star reviews I could ever think of. And you know what? They came back to me and they were like, my bad. And I was like, all right, 5 stars. 5 stars. And that's all I wanted at the end of the day. Because it's actually kind of funny to have a penis on your head. It's pretty funny. It's an instant domination move. It's like you were saying, like you're not going to acknowledge it, but I know it's there. And I immediately haven't
been able to look you in the eyes because it's right there. Yeah. So like, that's nice that like I haven't been able to like, then suddenly, you've got me not being able to look you in the eyes. I'm looking at the floor. That puts you in a power position.
And honestly, it really helps out on social media because like people just love my pictures. It's just really
instant virality. Sure.
Yeah. Instantly. Yeah. I mean, instant virality is what was my nickname in college, but that's also true for this picture.
That was good. That got me. Okay, so that means that I use this and I gain 1 extra desperation, putting me back to 3, which is great. And all right, what else? What's your other action this turn? I think we've got 1 more action that we can use.
All right. Let's check out this weird ass hallway. I want to look for an apparent item in this hallway.
There is nothing else in this hallway.
What in the hell is going on? It seems like you have all the luck. I can't find shit in this place. I got a fucking medicine thing that I can't even use this. I had to grab a piece of fucking wood. This is bullshit. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I just get emotional. I just get so emotional, Carl. It's not your fault. Some people
I understand.
Some people are just blessed.
You're passionate. You're passionate, and I appreciate that.
I'm a passionate man. I'm passionate. That's why, and I just miss my wife. I miss it so damn much.
All right, 3 things happen immediately. One of them, window 8 breaks immediately. So there's a third cultist walking their way in.
Yeah.
The other 2 cultists get to this main room. They're each going to take 1 action, which is going to put them to 0 actions. And they have torn down both of these barricades.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So they are now making a forward charge. It is now our turn. You've got a weapon. You can fight that one. You can fight either one of these guys immediately.
Yeah. All right. Let me fight the one that's in the hallway. I'm so pissed and passionate. I'm gonna use my that passion. And
Carl,
try to,
use your passion. You're angry at me for finding some stuff. Use it. Use it right now.
Take this. Take this. How about this for 1 star? And I swing the board at him with the nails facing him.
Nail in beds. I guess this is my note. I guess I should ask a tone and content question. Before I describe what I'm about to describe, there are 3 there are 3 levels that the game recommends that, based on the comfort level of the players. I have a feeling I know which direction we're going to go in based on our conversation.
Yeah.
Are you more interested in like a thriller level game where there's no overt gore or explicit material, just a persistent threat? Are you more interested in like classic horror, gore, and violence are here, but short socking Burks, or like slasher mode, anything goes, lean into it as much as you want, over the top splatter
full
fest?
slasher, baby. Full slasher.
Nail embeds in the skull. Blood splatters out.
Whack-a-mole.
Board shatters, and it is full whack-a-mole. The board shatters. They fall to the ground with like a chunk of board and nail slammed right into their temple.
God damn.
Hell yeah, Slugger.
God damn.
Didn't see that one coming.
Man, damn. Man. You think he's dead? Hey, Carl, you think he's dead? I never killed nobody.
Carl in the next room over peeks over. Oh fuck, he's dead.
Oh shit, I killed him.
God. Oh no. God. Oh fuck.
Jesus. I just meant to wound him a little bit.
there's dead, and that guy's fucking dead.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Carl continues to find all sorts of shit in this room. This seems to be the room where everything was in here. Throws you like another fucking bandage so that we each got some medicine as Carl finds some medicine in this room.
You found more medicine.
I found more medicine, so we each can heal a wound for free.
Nice. And we can come back to life.
We're set. This is where the advantage is ours, frankly.
Yeah. I feel like, okay. All right. Okay. I think I know what I want to do next.
I think like Carl's just gonna, I don't have a weapon, but I think Carl is just gonna run wholesale at this motherfucker with one big tackle. I don't think. Okay, I can actually still try and kill this guy. I can kill this man with my bare hands. I don't, but this cultist can't do anything because they are currently engaged because I have tackled them.
Okay. So, quick question.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise. So like when we use one of our weapons, it's like a one-time use weapon?
The improvised weapons are all single use.
Okay.
If we can find either
like
the gun or the shotgun, those are multi-use.
Okay, cool. So like your fire poker, that's like a one.
That was a one-time use. That snapped. Okay. That snapped like a twig. The board exploded. Okay. All of our improvised weapons are single use.
All right, cool. So let me see. So I go into room 4 there, and
you're in here.
I try to kill him with my bare hands as well.
All right, I'm gonna roll d6. Oh my god! Between the two of us, we snuff the life out of this cultist.
It's just like wrestling a gator, Carl. You just sometimes you gotta chomp down harder than they can. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck. Carl is like leaning against the wall. I really wish I didn't learn as much about killing gators as I have this evening, Billy Bob. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. That wasn't what I wanted to learn tonight.
Gators, they're the most dangerous prey. Because they can eat you. I don't know if you knew that. Gators are dinosaurs.
Listen, I'm glad comparatively. I'm pretty glad that we're fighting cultists and not gators, because gators scare the living shit out of me. And as Carl is saying that, a window breaks directly like in front of us, and another cultist walks into window number 9.
Oh shit! This guy looks like a gator. Is that a... No, that's not a gator. It's a person.
And then from around the corner, one of these cultists runs up, and we were both attacking equally, so I'm going to ask you again, highs or lows?
All right. All highs, baby. Highs,
That's
baby.
it. I wish I had rolled higher, because now I have been stabbed with a knife.
Oh, no. Carl.
Okay, I have been stabbed, and one more cultist makes their way through. We've got 2 more cultists in the hallway. They are rushing us. They are rushing up this hallway. I'm appreciating the accidental symmetry of all of the cultists coming from the same direction. There's something very satisfying about this.
Totally, yeah. Like, it makes sense. Like, it's a horde of them trying to do it. Okay, so we have somebody in that room with us.
There's a cultist in the room with us. We are like in this sort of like kitchen-y area that is fairly closed off except for a broken window. 2 more cultists coming from the south. I have just been stabbed against this thing, and there is one dead body directly below us with his neck snapped, and another one across the room with a board in his head.
Yeah,
it's been a fucking great stay at this Airbnb.
Yeah. Let's see. So my next, So if I were to escape, would I be taking you with me, or?
Let me actually find out. I think
I'm looking at escape, and I'm not sure.
You can move through a doorway to an adjacent room, but you would not be taking me with me. We would each have to spend escape and spend a desperation.
Gotcha. Oh, these are desperate moves. That's right. 10 moves. Take a move.
I've got 3 desperation left. I can escape, or I can stay and fight.
I guess
either of those.
I'm probably at 1, right?
You're at 1 desperation. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm at 2. Yeah, you're right. We just both fought, which means I'm down to 2.
So I'm gonna take a moment.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my courageous, which is, my strength, right? Or no, it's
Use your one of your personality traits. So courageous fits here.
So which would be,
and describe how that kind of gives you some. Describe how that gives you some of your strength back at this moment.
Yeah. So I'm like, I take a minute, and I breathe, and I'm like, I look straight at Carl, and I'm like, hold my beer, and I feel the surgeon coming through. Billy Bob feels the surge coming through, like as if every single moment he's ever stood on top of a tree, or on top of a rooftop, or on top of a bridge, about to do something death-defying, and it worked out. He enters almost a mental meditation state where the world snaps in. He can solve the most complex mathematical questions of physics and how things should land, and what would be safe. And he enters into that moment, and he feels a rush of stillness and confidence that just surges through him, like he's and is emanating from his body.
All right. So what are you doing with your second action? You've gained back a desperation. You are fully charged.
And I attack. Attack.
Oh, and tell me how you kill this cultist immediately, riding this fucking Florida man high that is before you.
I do a Rey Mysterio Jr. Luchador move where I jump on the man's shoulders and do a somersault flip. And the man, as I'm doing a somersault flip, I make it so his head just lands straight into the ground, and I crack his neck in 2.
A poison hurricane rana, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. A poison hurricane rana, and just like bam, just it crack. We hear a very satisfying crack on the
crumbles. And I have rolled some dice here. Are you excited to learn what I'm about to do? Because I'm about to do something great.
Yeah.
As you do that, Carl, still like bleeding profusely from the gut, lifts himself up, looks over, like in this sort of kitchen-y area, and just goes, "All right, you know what? I think I can do you one better." Lurches over, punches through a glass, like fire escape panel, snatches a fire axe as I have searched and found a wood cutting axe.
Oh shit.
And I am burying an axe in the skull of this fucking cultist. Just
Wow.
like it's not really a run per se. It's very much like a hobble, but like at a certain moment, lifts up the axe and like lets the axe kind of carry me the rest of the way to just right between the eyes, the huge splatter shot on Carl's face as the two of them collapse. I've got 2 more uses of a fire axe after this, which is a great feeling.
Holy shit, Carl. Damn. That is one 5-star murder you just did.
It stands up. I feel the coolest I've ever excuse me.
Oh, gee.
Oh, fuck.
Dang.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, I don't want to be alive. Oh god. Oh fuck.
Maybe eating crab before a fight was a bad idea. Oh,
Still
you okay?
great. Still a great boil. I'm not gonna lie to you. Still delicious.
Is it just as good as the first time? The second time coming up?
Oh man.
That's the beauty of crab. It tastes good going down and coming up.
You see, the thing is, like, you can tell that's real andouille sausage. Like, that's just not just the sausage out of the grocery store. That was
fresh. That's fresh. I'm not so fresh now, but it was fresh when
it
you
doesn't
first had it.
Doesn't feel good at this moment, but okay.
I'm getting hungry.
I love it. Dramatically, as two more cultists enter the building, and one of them rushes at one at number 8 and one in number 5. Where is number 5 at? 5 is over here. We've got 2 more cultists entering the building. Okay. And Carl, let me find something out real quick. What happens? This is the most important thing that can possibly occur here. Character stuff. If you take 2 wounds, Carl, or I'm Carl, Billy Bob.
Yeah.
It is so important that you get to that evil book right now.
Oh shit!
I have been stabbed.
You've been stabbed now. You've been stabbed.
I have been stabbed to death.
Oh god, Carl
no! Is gone.
Oh no! Oh Jesus!
Carl is dead. I've taken my second wound. Let me set the stage here because this is a great moment.
Yeah.
Carl rushes, buries this axe, splatters the brains of this cultist, stands up, throws up, wipes his mouth, looks like a fucking action hero, turns back, says that to Billy Bob, and you watch as the knife pushes through the throat in a splattering moment.
Holy
and then just flops, like, does the Ric Flair, like, flop down at that moment, is just out of commission.
Oh my god, that's one of the most insane things I've seen, and I live in Florida. All right. All right, so
it's now your turn.
So I guess so I think I should
note a gameplay note. They have 3 actions left. Every time that we have attacked one of these cultists, we've knocked down their actions by 1. Every time one of them has entered the building or like chased us or torn down a barricade, it's also ticked down by 1, which means there are 3 actions left. And if they run out of actions and we kill these 3 cultists, we survive the night.
Oh, sweet.
Just setting the stage on that. We are so close to the finish line.
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm going to use the death book or the mysterious book to revive Carl.
Carl comes back in an instant.
Oh shit. Okay, this is I didn't pass the 6th grade, but I'm pretty sure this is enough for me to be reading here. Come to life.
There's a beat of silence, like the cultist pulls the knife out and steps back, and for a moment after a year, that should not have worked. Carl's pulling himself to his feet. I'm gonna throw the detail out because coming back wrong is just too compelling. That the knife wound is still there, and Carl is actively some kind of zombie.
Oh
But
God!
like pulling himself up, just that feels like it was that. It can't. You can't have read that right. But Carl is looking at his decaying form.
I'm gonna be
I mean,
honest.
but
with
it
you.
worked, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, listen. I'm sorry. Like I said, I've only.
Hey!
I didn't pass the
Don't
6th grade.
apologize.
So yeah.
It worked. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that seems shoddily written, if anything, because
Yeah, it was. It makes sense why there was a bird eye on there because it's chicken scratch. To be honest, in here.
Carl proceeds to lean back, put some fingers inside of his throat.
Jesus.
Catch.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, I'm noticing that I'm not feeling any pain, and that I seem to be
Carl.
some kind of zombie. But seems to be the trade-off.
We gotta. But there's a guy behind you. We still gotta kill this guy.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay, sure, sure. Axe out, axe in, collapses to the floor, and then right back to the. Okay, so I do again. Some kind of zombie, right? Billy Bob, we're in agreement.
Sort of zombie. You're some sort of superhuman zombie that's like a killer with an axe. So good job. Good job.
Okay, great.
I want to barricade between 9 and 8.
All right. We'll mark that off.
I have so many questions about the after. Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
There is nothing else in this room. I was searching for apparent items.
I have so many questions about the afterlife, Carl, but we got to barricade this room real quick.
Okay. We barricade this room. Carl, I am leaning hard into the character beat. The Carl has checked out in this moment. Carl is literally like, okay, so like wiggling teeth, like, okay.
Don't pull it out. Don't pull your teeth out.
I'm just wiggling, Billy Bob. It's fine. Interesting. Cool. Weird. Okay.
Carl, let me ask you a question. Let's take a second here. Where were you? Was it did you see shiny lights? Did you see any loved ones? What happened? Where'd you go?
There is the sound of hacking and chopping down wood behind us as we are having this conversation.
This is important. I need to know where we are.
Well, now see, the thing is, Carl, Billy Bob, I got some things about the afterlife that I'm so excited to do.
Oh no! We see that he gets stabbed.
Billy Bob, we have got to stop having these conversations when there is a guy behind me with a knife.
But what's more important than God at the end of the day? What was more important? I know we could die all day here, but as long as there's an afterlife, that's all that matters. Okay. Oh my God, Carl! Oh, but we gotta get this wound here.
Those are the last 2 actions of the night. So as long as we can finish off these 2 cultists before they finish us off, we have won the game.
Yes. Okay.
I am down to 1 desperation because I killed that guy. I'm gonna spend my last desperation and exhaust myself to hack this other guy to bits with an axe. Let's see if it works. Oh God, it did not work. They have wrestled the axe from me and snapped it in 2 over their knee.
No, Carl.
I really figured the axe was going to get us 3 kills, Billy Bob. I'm not going to lie to you.
Shit. I think I'm at how many? What's my?
I think you're at 1. I think you're at
okay.
1. You because you were at 2. Or you were at 1, you rested up to 2, and then went back down to 1 to fight again. So you're at 1.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, shit. All right. And you can only take a moment once in the game?
It's a great question. I think when you're at desperation, you can call on I think you can use one of your. I think you can use each of your personality traits once. So you have your other personality trait.
Great. Okay, cool. So I have. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a moment, and I'm gonna use my emotions. And I'm just gonna think about my wife, and I start to cry. Think about all of our children that we have together: Susie, Christian, Damien, Sally, Tim, Eric,
That's so many children.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Jeff, Naomi, Sally too, Barack.
As this is
Greg.
As this is happening, I think I'm going to also take a moment and spend that desperation immediately. Please continue to list names as I do this. Because I think the personality trait here is professional to a fault as Carl walks over in the middle of this.
Tim.
Snaps a neck.
Eric. BJ. Sally 5. Juan. Carlos now standing by a doorway. You can take this guy on anytime you want it if you want to give it a shot. I'm not done.
Sure.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rey
Gotta
Mysterio.
get him twice.
Rey Mysterio, Jr.
Sure.
Ray Williams, Bill, and lastly,
Look, it took you that long to get to Bill.
and lastly, Susan 7. Okay, and I feel with the power of my children and my love, I feel it surge through me, and so I decide, I say, you know what? I'm gonna see another. I need to say goodnight to my kids one last time, and I attack the person in the room with us.
And with one final blow, you take out the last cultist. We are left sitting in this empty room. And I think the closing beat, like we see the sun rising through the windows. We are both just seated. And I'm going to say one final thing that happens is a barricade gets broken and we just hear, hello, this is Tim G, house owner. I just wanted to check in and make sure everything was everybody's liking. Is everything good?
Tim, 1 star.
1 star, Tim. I'm not going to lie to you.
Tim, one star, Tim.
Do you mind if I eat this guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Eat
Tim, I'm going to give you 1 star and hopefully you taste better.
Before I gotta know, what's with all the mirrors in the hallway, Tim? Tim, what is with all these mirrors? And then as I'm asking, you actually can't wait. Carl starts eating them immediately before he answers.
And that is our closing beat. We made it through the night. That is game. That is bar the windows and bolt the doors. God, this game was very fun. What was your favorite part of play?
Oh my gosh. It's just, I love the spontaneity of it. I do actually really love the gameplay of,
I really do. I really enjoyed like the tactical element of it all was really satisfying.
Like getting to kind of see a bird's eye view of the room and being able to be like, well, if we block this out here, it kind of like, because of how it's so easily they can break in, it also makes it so like, well, we can count on it, but then also not at the same time to like make us secure. So that was just so fun. And you're a great person to play with. So thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you so much. You were they were a treasure. This was fantastic. I am completely overjoyed. Yeah. Real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
You could follow me at Adam R. Mack. You could follow my podcast, That Was Wild Pod, on all the social medias. And you can go to our website, thatwaswild.net, to watch the videos, listen to it wherever you get your podcasts.
Fuck yeah, this was such a treasure. I'm going to be thinking about this recording all day.
Yeah.
Thank you again for playing this with me. And now I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take a future me.
Hey, Futures Jeff.
Thanks, Past Me. And thanks again to Adam for coming on the show. This game was so wonderful and like funny and weird. And like it was so much fun to like play through the mechanics and sort of experience that. And just an absolute joy from beginning to end. Be sure to pick up your own copy of Bar the Windows, Bolt the Doors at stoneshore.itch.io or check the show notes for more information. And be sure to check out the That Was Wild podcast at thatwaswild.net, which is also where you can get information about their monthly live show and their special 1-year anniversary live show, which is coming up around the corner. And be sure to follow Adam on Instagram at AdamRMac. Be sure to follow That Was Wild at thatwaswildpod. And then, I guess as long as it's still a website, you can head over to twitter.com. Then while you're on Twitter, follow us at Party of One Pod. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/partyofonepodcast. Find us on TikTok at Party of One Podcast. Find us on Tumblr at Party of One Pod. Subscribe to our newsletter at buttondown.email/partyofonepodcast. And join our Discord community at bit.ly/partyofonediscord. If you enjoy the show, there's a lot of ways to support it. You can support us financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer or Ko-fi.com/JeffStormer. You can give us a nice iTunes review, shout us out to a friend, give us some love on social media. You can buy some Party of One merch at bit.ly/PartyOfOneMerch. Or, if you're looking for more great podcast content, you can check out All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast that I make with my best friend in the world, Aaron Catano Macias. We take a listener-submitted prompt and spin it into an original fantasy character, populating a shared universe one story at a time. You can also check out Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, which is an actual play about a heartless witch, a cozy house, and the many people making their homes inside. Both of those you can find wherever you get your podcasts. Party of One is, as always, produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logos by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming on the show as a guest, or about press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And, unless I am mistaken, that is all we do here. So until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.